What's good? This is your man Donnell Turner, Curtis Ashford from ABC's General Hospital. I'm right here at Celebrity Connected with my girl Quencie on Studio Q. Check us out.
Studio Q show, now you know.
The only soap that's still on TV.
I mean, there's four of us, but
no, seriously,
really
I mean, that's the one I watch.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, a brother.
Oh yeah.
One of them last soaps. I mean, it's a dying thing, but you're on one of the ones that's still around after like how many years? 30?
54 years.
50.
The longest running drama on TV. Hello. Yeah. And I mean, I watched it as a kid. And now I'm roaming the hallways with some of them people that I saw as a kid watching them stories with my grandmama, you know?
What does that feel like?
It feels like I'm 8 years old again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't believe I'm looking, remember Luke and Laura back in the
Yes!
day? Laura's still there.
No.
Laura's still there.
Laura is still there.
And I be seeing Laura, she's so sweet, and every time she looks at me, I'm like, you have no idea, I feel like a child right now.
I know, that's so awesome.
To be on that show, and they created my character Curtis Ashford for me. So I auditioned for a doctor. ABC was like, no, we like this dude. They created a part. Imagine that phone call. I thought I was going to pass out when I got the phone call. They're like, yeah, but they like you, so they're going to give you the same 4-year contract, and they're in New York right now creating a character for you. 3 weeks later, I'm on set, and they're telling me, tell our story, but use your words. So I get to say, black ass, excuse me if y'all, I get to say, you know, you keep my name out your mouth. Oh yeah. And they're like, we love all of that, and I'm glad. So it's a good look for General Hospital, you know?
So what did you do prior to General Hospital that would lead you to somebody liking you so much, a network that they're going to create something for you on something that's been around for 54 years?
I mean, you know, I'm just a nice dude, right?
We need some secret sauce. We need some secret sauce.
What had happened is I went in there and I was like, please hire me, I'm hungry. No, I'm just like that. But you know, what's funny is, here's this true story. The casting director, Mark Teschner, I wrote him in the 90s every day. Everywhere I went, I lived in Sacramento, California. Everywhere I went, people were like, you know, you look like a soap opera dude. You look like you should be on a soap. And I'd say, well, you know, your lips to God's ears. And finally I said, you know what? I wanted to be an actor, but I didn't know how to do it. So I got into theater and I started writing him. And I wrote him every month for a year. Never heard nothing. So when I got the job last year, I told him, man, you sure take a long time to read a letter.
That is hilarious.
You need to open your mail, brother. It's been a minute. 96, 97, something like that.
I know, we didn't went to electronic mail.
Man, I'm still, you know what I mean? You got some snail mail over there you should open, partner. But I love Mark Teschner. He brought me in after he saw one of my AT&T commercials. I was a spokesman for Mercedes-Benz. They saw me carry that dialogue. He brought me back in, and I read for a contract part in 14. I didn't hear nothing for a year. I read for a contract part in January. I ain't heard nothing until September. And then 4 auditions and a screen test later, here I am. So it's a grueling process, so you gotta love it.
So talk about having patience for those new people out there who want to be you.
Okay, patience, yes. But there's an acronym I learned when I first moved here. It's called PUSH. It could be pray or persist until something happens, okay? And not only that, I speak all over the country to kids, and my message is of unshakable faith. You gotta believe in your product. If you don't, who gonna believe in it? So you gotta keep that faith unshakable in yourself, in your creator, and your purpose. As long as you're living within your purpose, sky's the limit.
And what are some practical things that somebody can do acting-wise, you know, to build themselves up to be noticed?
To be noticed? Well, hone your craft. You know, there's a lot of people out here trying to show their abs or how pretty they can be. It's not about that. It really is about the craft. And so nowadays it's a little tricky because we're competing with reality show stars and athletes and rappers, okay? So now everybody wants to do what I've trained to do. So what will separate the players from the sayers in the end will be who paid attention to the craft and who took the time to study. So my advice to all people is push your sleeves up, put your head down, and do your work, and whatever will be, will be.
That is like such good advice. I mean, really, and now I can understand why they said, no, whatever you say, we're gonna let that roll in the script.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. They're like, this guy's got some philosophies. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. If you saw yesterday's episode, my character, you know, one of the comments the fans give me is that I say what people think. So a couple months ago, I did an episode where we had to do some investigating in a dumpster, and Curtis saw a rat. And, you know, brother freaked out. So the fans loved it. So just yesterday's episode was we went to a graveyard, and we had to dig up a corpse. You know, brothers ain't all big. So I'm sure I played that accurately. The fans loved it. And I threw in one line where I said, an example of them giving me creative autonomy. I said, the line was, you ever read Stephen King? It don't end well for people. Okay? But what I said was, you ever read Stephen King? It don't end well for people. And then I went, I'm probably going to die first. That kind of thing.
I love it. I love it.
The director, they all died laughing. They're like, you got to say that. You got to say that. So then the fans hit me up yesterday. They were like, we loved it because it's that implied joke that you probably can't write. And so they're like, remember,
That's that craft.
Yes.
That's that craft seeping in.
it is. You got to be, I don't want to say, you got to be courageous. You got to make choices, and you can't hold back and apologize for it. You know, I tell all my actor friends, like, you got to be ballsy. Successful people are risk takers. And Susan Jeffers has a book that I read. I think everybody should read. It's called "Feel the Fear but Do It Anyway."
And that says it all. Last question. Oscars is tomorrow. Who are you pulling for?
I'm pulling for both of the movies that I'm with the same management firm. My teammate, we like to call it, with LA Management, is Sanaya Sidney. She's the 9-year-old, and she's in Hidden Figures and Fences. So whatever she's in, I'm pulling for her to win.
Studio Q Show. Now you know.